IUDs, pills, and more. This is the flyer right here. Looking at this flyer, remember what the first thing I jump at is, what is more exactly, and why is this given to a 7-year-old? Since when is it the school's job to give information to my child about birth control? When did the public schools decide they could teach my child issues regarding morality and sex? Now, I know the liberals on this council specifically will say something like, schools teach reproduction. And you're right. They do teach biological facts in regards to reproduction. But this flyer is now talking about reproduction as biological fact. It teaches birth control. And I also can't help but notice that abstinence is not on this list. I've heard it said the principal of the school was just trying to be nice and give us some information about a free clinic. The problem, of course, is that is not the facts. The facts are that this is the free clinic. I wouldn't have had an issue with this part, but the fact is he put the two pieces together to give my child this part. Okay? My son received this flyer printed front and back. Why did the principal not just photocopy? Now, I don't have a fancy printer at home, but I was able to take that thing and just make one-sided copy myself from my home computer. Why couldn't he do that? As a Christian and as a father, I teach my children to respect themselves and to respect their bodies and to abstain from sexual activity until marriage. Since God is the creator of marriage, he ordained marriage as a sacred union between one man and one woman. Amen. The Bible also calls fornication a sin, and that is what I teach my children. Amen. The public schools, and more specific, think they have the right to usurp my authority as their father. By giving my 7-year-old son this flyer, the school almost forced me to talk about sex and sexuality with my 7-year-old son. This school does not have that right. It is my job as his father to teach these issues when I feel it's appropriate for him to hear about them. The sexualizing of our youth is a sign of the moral and the societal decay of our culture. Our children are not objects to be used for a liberal ideology or an LGBT agenda. The family in America is under attack, and the public schools are at the forefront of this attack, undermining parents. And this has to be stopped, and we have to stand up to the recruitment and indoctrination of children for this. The Bible tells us in Matthew chapter 18, verse 6, "But whoever causes one of these little ones to believe in me to stumble, it would be better for him to have a heavy millstone hung around his neck and be drowned in the depth of the sea." It is not the school's job, again, to teach moral lessons. It is not the school's job to teach our children religion. And that's exactly what we see happening. I stood up at this podium a few months ago in regards to the textbooks that this board was trying to push, that teach Allah and God are the same being. And there were a few members of this board who ignored us who talked about this. But these schools are not qualified to teach religion. And I want to give you just one example real quick on this subject.
Your time is up, Mr.